What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace a window motor and regulator on a 2005 Dodge Stratus SXT coupe. Sorry if you got a little wind noise. Yeah, it's windier than hell. So I'm going to start today's video by telling you that what you're about to see towards the end of this video is not what you should do at all. I'll explain why a little bit later. But as far as that goes, I'll tell you everything you're going to need. I will also say that my door apparently has been apart since like before I got it, because there's a bunch of mismatched stuff. Everything you're going to need should be, unless somebody took it apart before, obviously, then I can't tell you what you'll need. Everything you're going to need, though, as far as its original, is a 10mm socket, 12mm socket, and a Phillips screwdriver. And then also we're going to be installing some speakers on my door, since I honestly just have it apart, so why not? And I'll get into that later. So without further ado, I'm not going to completely take this apart, just because I already had the video shot and got it all back together, and the switch doesn't work either. So I got all pissy and deleted the video, but I'm going to show you how to take it out for the most part without taking it out, show you where everything is, and then hopefully it helps you out, because with everything fighting me doing it myself, I will say have two people for this, because once you get the regulator and motor out, your window's going to want to move on you, and it's a pain in that, like, just absolute pain to get it with one person. I did it, but it took me double the time because I sat and fought it. So without further ado, we'll get into this. So you're going to want to start by taking your motor out. There's 3 10mm bolts that you'll take out, and then that just, all you do is, like, honestly, I pushed right there and popped it out. On the back of it, the bolts for it are actually pushed in with little pins. I thought they were just chunks of plastic, and I couldn't get them out of the old motor, so I just pounded them out. I don't recommend doing that, because I broke every freaking one of them. So after you take that out, you want to take these out, unclip this, and just set this out of the way. It's not too bad in the way, but it gets to be kind of a pain in the butt. Then if your window regulator and motor work, it's just, you gotta replace one or the other. As long as one of them works and you can get it up, you want to roll it up. I have it about halfway. You'll be able to see, hopefully you'll be able to see on camera, there's 1, 2, and then 3 bolts. And this is why you got to move this. Like, you can get to it, but it's a pain in the butt. Alright, so you remove those 3 bolts. That'll drop the glass. Okay, there's 2 bolts on top of the door, 2 bolts at the bottom of the door. Those are both 12s. You take those out, and then I'm going to get it so you can maybe see it. Okay, so there's a little pin right here, or a little bolt. That's where the it bolts to the regulator. Yeah. Sorry if it's out of focus. You can actually turn this with your hand once this bolt's out, and you want to back those bolts out as much as possible. Okay. Once everything is, damn. All right, so I'm sorry about it being unfocused. I'm shooting on a cell phone. So once everything's unbolted, these 2 bolts right here will actually, you can just push them, and this, when you push those out, it'll actually, I don't know how good of an angle that is. Anyway, when you push this out, it'll actually pull out and drop the whole regulator and motor out. When you do that, all you do is you twist it sideways, and you can go out the back out of that big hole. Now, the trick that I did for putting the new one in, because again, I had this 100%, I was by myself. So I'm going to set you guys down here for a second, and then I will actually show you what I did. Again, mine worked. It just, the regulator was broken, so all I did was prop up with 2 pieces of wood, these corners right here, and dropped it down. Then I took, I don't know how well you'll be able to see with my fat butt in the way, but anyway, I took that out. There's 4 screws right here. Again, I have 3 because somebody took it apart before me and apparently didn't know how to put it back together. So you take this out. The whole new window regulator and motor will fit through this. Now the trick is, I flopped my motor this way. That way all I had to do is run it up against the door and then bring it back. You pop your holes, or your bolts in your holes, here and here and here and here. Again, the only problem I had was I got ornery and impatient and pounded out the bolts, so they didn't have the holder pins. All you do, take that right there, just stick it in the hole to hold the bolt in, and it'll hold and grab once you get it tightened enough, and that's all you got to do. So that being said, I am gonna get to the part that you're not supposed to do. So when I did this, obviously it was raining outside and I had to drive to town while I had to get my window up. So what you do is turn your window on, or you turn your car on. I have it isolated and figured out. You find your power and your negative to your window. Then you take and find your wires for your window motor. Whatever you do not touch these, because it will screw something up, obviously. You put one in one in the other, and it'll roll it up. Then you do the same to roll it down. Now, I will tell you, honestly, unless you touch the wires together, this isn't gonna hurt it. This isn't bad. What you do want to do is, the minute that window stops, is let off, because they have, I think it's called, I can't remember for sure, I think it's a regulator in them. I can't remember what they're called. Somebody I'm sure in the comments will tell me. But anyway, they have it so you don't frickin' sit and burn out your motor and sit and hold button and everything. Anyway, so there you go. Your window rolls up and down. Tighten all your bolts again. If you get a used motor and regulator, I mean, that's just a nice, easy way to do it. Again, I had to hook up this and get the new thing that the window bolts to. I had to actually get it up to these 3 holes because it was actually in the bottom. Alright, well, now that that's it, like I said, I don't recommend doing this because it can be dangerous. You can short stuff out. I don't know if you'll really electrocute yourself, but I mean, there's always a good possibility. So like I said, I wouldn't 100% recommend it, but I mean, when you're in a pinch, you're in a pinch. Alright, so for the speaker removal, now again, for doing the speakers, we're throwing in a couple Boss Audio 6.5s. They're 300 watts. I highly doubt they're actually 300 watts. The only reason I'm putting these in right now is just, I believe from looking at it, I can actually take this piece off, and if anybody knows, let me know. I should be able to take this piece off and actually put a 6x9 in. Well, I wasn't looking at it when I bought this, and I didn't think about trying it, but I think I'm going to try it. So if anybody knows for sure in the comments, let me know. Also, if anybody knows where you can buy parts for these, i.e. window switches, because I cannot find a window switch anywhere for it. I have checked several scrap yards, I have checked online, I have checked by calling people around that have had these, and apparently the switches taking a crap are a popular thing on this. Alright, so anyway, take that out, try not to drop it, put the new speaker, grab the twisties off the new speaker that apparently, these came with, I don't know if they just planned on people running it right from the actual stereo itself or what, but this has like easily 6 if not 8 foot of cable. I did make the mistake on my last one of I put it up on top, and I think what I'm going to try to do with this one is I'm going to try to put it on the bottom, because only, if I remember right, only one of the holes lines up. So if I can get it on the bottom and just have the top holes to worry about, we'll do it that way. So anyway, we'll do this. It does the kit does come with, I'll show you in a second after I get this held up. I probably should have done this before I put this in. Okay, so we'll do, is it hitting any wires? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do it like that. Again, sorry if this video rambles on. You can fast forward. I need to get some editing software and an actual camera. Alright, so make sure your orientation of your wires, we'll do that. And then we'll do this. Okay. Now let's try this again, shall we? But anyway, it comes with little clips that if the holes don't line up with your actual speaker enclosure holes, you can do this, which I don't know if it'll work for this or not, but just little clips. Hopefully that's on camera. If not, again, I'm sorry. So we can get one there, one there, one there, and one there. And that's all we're gonna need. Okay. Now, for all of you professionals out there, I say this every video, I'm not a professional. I'm doing this in my front yard, in my driveway. I have already figured out, again, you're gonna wanna figure out positive and negative. I did figure out what they were. I will be 100% honest with you. I tested this and didn't hear any difference in between hooking it up, whatever way you hook it up. I know it makes a huge difference when you're using an amp, and when like I said, once I get the good speakers for this, the only reason I'm replacing these, is because these are only, what are they, 15 watts? And they've been crackling. They're not like blown crackling, but they are crackling, so it's coming. So I wanted a little upgrade. These were 20 bucks on Amazon. That's the moral of my channel, is everything's nice and cheap and easy. So anyway, what I did on the other side, I hooked it up, run it about there, take it cut your wire. Okay. Then what you're going to do is strip your wire down. I do quite a bit just because a buddy of mine when I was in high school used to install stereos, and he said this isn't a right way to do it, but it's a good way to do it if you don't have the connectors you need. So you strip them down quite a bit. You do what you're never supposed to do and just start cutting wires, you know. Again, I don't recommend this. They sell plug kits on Amazon. I should have probably got one, but this will never have stock speakers in it again, so I really don't care. I like making the connections I will anyway. Again, once I get the speakers that are gonna stay in here, we'll connect them properly. I'm gonna probably hook them up to a little amp, just so I can have a switch for the amp for my subs, and then I'll have these on an amp just so I can have really good stereo and good sound quality, but not have the bass, because I do have kids in my car constantly and I don't want them being as deaf as I am. So finish stripping that. Finish stripping that. This one. This one. Get that. Touch those. And so what I do is I spread, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, I'll actually spread these wires out, when I put them together, and I'll intertwine them a little, and then you wrap them up. And again, if I had a soldering gun and actual wire connectors and all that other fun stuff, I would actually solder this and have it be proper, but since I don't, alright, we're gonna check this real quick. Alright, so everything works. Alright, well, all I gotta do is button up, put the screws in. I don't see why you guys would want to watch that. Again, I cannot stress this enough, you guys. This is just, basically this is just to get stuff working with what you have on hand. I had everything here on hand. The wiring actually came from the old wiring harness, because I had a secondary wiring harness for this. There are better ways to do this. I just can't stress enough, this is just to get it done. You need to roll your window up in a hurry. All you do is find your switch. This is from the switch. This goes to the motor. You got two wires, your power, your negative. You got your motor up, or your window up in a hurry when you're out and it's broke and all that fun stuff. As far as reviews, I promise you, car reviews are coming. I had a couple dealers okay with letting me drive some of their cars, and then COVID hit, and most of our dealers are mom and pops around here, and they just shut down to not risk it. Some of the bigger dealers are also open, but they don't want to work with a guy that's just coming out to test drive and do reviews on the cars. So that being said, you guys have a good day. That's everything put back together. If you have any questions, I watch the comments. I've commented on lots of other people's comments asking questions about how to do stuff. I'll probably post a review of this now that it's finally up and running. I'll probably post a view of this in the next week. So, all right. Again, I'm sorry that it's jumbled and crappy. I'm new to this, and you guys have a good night.